Hey y'all, welcome back to Chat with Coach Amy. I got tickled because I was about to hit record and I was like, this is the podcast, right? Welcome back to me, myself, and Darlene. Darlene, say hey.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Oh, I guess it's not always morning when people listen to this.
It's
Hello.
hi. Oh, mercy. That was funny. I needed that laugh. What are we going to talk about today, Darlene?
We have so many things, so many things, so many exciting things.
Whoop, whoop. Are y'all ready for a fun announcement?
It's coming.
It's coming, but you're going to have to wait a minute.
I know.
We're going to make you wait.
Oh my goodness, these are so fun. Okay, so first, as we normally have tried to do more, is say if there's a question that somebody has asked that maybe is not within your coaching services, but it could be something that we're interested in addressing. So I have one. I'm not going to say who it is, but I'm going to read it because I don't
Okay,
know
that's fine.
how. Yeah. So, okay. So
Wait,
I've
what
been
was this
following.
for? Like, what was this
What?
for? What was this
What is
for?
this?
Where'd we get this
This
from?
this was just somebody who messaged you on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry. So this was, yeah, and I don't know. There's a gap, so I don't think it was after maybe even a reaction to a story. I think that they just messaged you. Now I could be wrong. It could have
Okay.
been, but it doesn't look like it.
Okay.
Okay, so she writes, I've been following Trim Healthy Mama since the first book. That being said, my daughter has walked through anorexia and she has had a lot of background with Trim Healthy Mama, but both of us don't know how Trim Healthy being enough calories for the average teenager or even young adults. Have you ever counted calories? I know that
Lordy,
THM
no. No, ma'am.
I know that THM is not about counting calories, but when we do the math with the restrictions of carbs and fats, anyone should lose weight on the low of weight on that low of calories. I think I might be missing something. Thoughts? So,
Have I responded to
it,
her?
no,
Okay.
um, no, I did with the we all the questions. We
Well,
get the questions, and so
yeah.
but I'll make sure that we let her know that we talked about it some on this podcast.
Okay. Read it one more
So
time.
it's okay. So it sounds like the meat part is that they've known Trim Healthy since the first book, and her daughter does, her family does too, because she's been doing it. Her daughter has walked through some anorexia and has lost and no, excuse me. She has walked through anorexia and she has a lot of background with Trim Healthy, but we don't see how Trim Healthy is being enough calories.
Oh.
So for the average teenager or even young adult.
Oh, yeah. Well, they need crossovers. She's missing that. That's what she's missing. So
Yeah.
I would say, like, my teenage girls have crossovers. Sometimes they will have S or E. Very rarely do they have FP. Um, but they're very active girls. I mean, Katie especially. I mean, she runs or walks every day. She does exercise, stretching, weightlifting. They're all three of my girls are dancers, pretty hardcore year round.
Yeah.
Not to say they're 100% on plan all the time, that would be a lie. But yeah, if they're having something with carbs, they are going to combine fats with that. Me as a grown woman can't do that. I don't need that. I don't need that many calories. But yes, growing children, teenagers do. I would say people that are at goal weight, healthy weight, very lean and trim, and very active, of course, can do crossovers as well. I don't do well on those. I will gain. So
Do you think that they should
typically,
go
oh,
ahead?
go ahead. Well, I was just going to say, typically I'll have one or two a week, but traveling, I'll have more usually. Well, I had six this past week, but we were gone and very active,
Just
and yeah, I needed it.
do you think, and I don't think that this is a like a guideline for Trim Healthy in the sense of so about like the amount maybe like is there like a heavier crossover? I mean, I know there kind of
Well,
is,
yeah,
but
you
like
still don't want to exceed 45 grams of net carb. And then I would
okay,
bring in, a wise amount of fat. I mean, you don't want 50 grams of fat, I mean, one or like a half of an avocado and a sprinkle of cheese or something, be mindful
yeah,
of it for sure.
yeah. So even for her daughter though, that's going to be needing to gain. just bring in, yeah,
Yeah,
the crossovers.
she could do whole milk yogurts instead of fat-free Greek. You know, that's what we do for our kids. Um, you know, and
What?
I wouldn't rely a ton on dairy for your fat though. That's just not healthy. But if you don't care, okay, fine. But I'm just this is my opinion. I love coconut oil, coconut milk, avocado, goat cheese. Those are great fat sources.
And I know you and I have talked before because we both have a son who burns all the things. And so it's harder for them to gain weight
Yep,
and to
yep,
keep. So I know that you and I have talked about that before because I've asked. I'm like, I don't know how to get weight on this child of mine.
yep,
And so making sure that he always has it because sometimes I'll notice he won't.
yep.
He'll have protein in it like a carb, but I need
It
to
doesn't
make
have the
sure,
fat.
really pay attention. Yeah.
Put that butter, ooh, that butter on that toast.
Yeah.
Yummy. Oh, I wish I could eat that with you. Please enjoy it.
I'm just gonna watch you for just a second. Is that
I'm gonna
delicious?
live vicariously through your breakfast.
Oh, good. So that even because that's just still you're not having to worry about the calories. You're just not. You're just it's wise, like you said. Yeah, that's
Now,
awesome.
we're not
Okay.
talking about a crossover off-plan slice of pizza or half of a pizza, you know, from the pizza place. We're talking about good carbs, like really wholesome whole oats. You've got sweet potatoes, you know, I mean, lentils, quinoa, brown rice, beans. Of course, there's more, but fruit, you know, whole foods
Well, I
and
think
whole
the
food.
variety helps. Yeah, the variety helps pick
The
if it's
nutrition
a
that you get from a variety of foods is absolutely amazing. It's so amazing.
right, right. And then there's so many options that if it's something that they enjoy, find the one that they actually like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say, like, if you're listening to this and you're just beginning or whatever, and that what I just said about bearing overwhelms you, you don't have to do that yet. I'm almost 8 years in. I should be able to think through that easily. And so
Mm.
when I first started, it took me 30 minutes to make a simple shake because it was 400 ingredients, not really, maybe 10. But you know, reading a
It felt
recipe,
like it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it felt like it. But like in the beginning, whenever I would realize, you know, it's 2:30, I'm about to have to get in the car at 2:45 to go get the kids from school and take the girls to dance, because that's what I used to do. You know, years ago, I knew I needed my afternoon snack and I'd be like, oh, well, I'll just make a shake. Well, it would take me that whole 15 minutes, sometimes 20, to get it all together because it was all so foreign to me. And now I can make a shake without looking at anything. I know what I need to put in there. And so it does take time. So just give yourself grace and plenty of planning. That is key when you're starting out.
Yeah. No, I think that's good. And I think just getting it doesn't say anything about being necessarily like having a like an opinion about different kinds of food. So hopefully that's not the case and they're open to
Yeah.
trying the different something different.
Yeah. Good. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's great.
Well, bless her.
Uh,
I'm proud of her for coming out of anorexia. That's an amazing accomplishment. Amazing.
yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Okay, and then I'll make sure we'll let her know that this we talked about that time on here.
Yeah.
We'll go back and find that. So another thing that we had gone over was we had submitted, and I don't remember when you did this survey, but
Survey
we
says,
had done it. What's that?
I said
The
survey
survey.
says, like
I
Family
know.
Feud.
We had done we had we had, we had done this. Sorry, my little bit of a distraction over in the corner. Okay. So, you had done the survey and we were asking, we are trying to find out what people want, like what
Oh
people
yeah.
are looking for in your coaching services or coaching services in general, because
Yeah.
we had done it on Facebook, started there. And so there was all kinds of answers that came in, but Amy, so many of them are things that you have already got going on.
Well,
And so
golly
I
gee.
think I was so excited because I was like, wow, a lot of people had a lot of answers. And then I was like, wait a second, I think we check a lot of these boxes already. So there's one of the biggest ones, like, okay, I'd say about half. Half were between short-term coaching duration and long-term. So that in itself, um, between, to me, the blooms, your blooms program. I think we just need to kind of talk about blooms because I think that this
I love
really
blooms.
talks about a
Blooms
lot
is my
and what
baby.
it
Yeah.
is. And I think that um it really does this for a lot of women what they want. So short term versus long term. Obviously, once you've gotten into blooms, excuse me, you can it's monthly.
Yeah. Cancel
Yeah, so they
anytime,
don't,
man.
right. And then there's the free trial for the week
Right.
so that
One
you can
week. Mhm.
see that what's kind of in there and touch things a little bit. But even if it's the first month, that's it, and then if it's not something that fits what you're looking for, then it can be considered short term. But there's so much information in there. There's
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then they also another big one was communication and how often they got to talk to you.
Oh,
So, and some of them want weekly communication.
guess what? We do that in Blooms.
I know.
Also
And
daily if they Marco Polo.
yeah,
I'm in there every
I
day.
know. And that's what's so funny is I was like, oh my goodness, like that. You talk to us like you check in
Right.
with us a lot.
I do. I
Yeah.
love
And you
y'all.
can, and people can ask the questions
They
too.
can.
And then, yeah. So it's
Mhm.
not even you have to wait for the whole week.
Yeah, you'll have to wait until Sunday for me to answer your question, right?
Right. Um, Personalized action plans and worksheets.
Got it. Check, check, check.
It's so funny because I think so much of it you're looking to see what people wanted, you
Yes, yes,
know?
I did. I looked it up because I'm like, so this was at the end of June. We did this. I was just
Into June.
looking ahead for the year, and then I think baseball and the conference took over, and I kind of forgot about it. So I'm so glad you brought this back up. But I will say we're gonna talk more about this. I'm sure she has more things, but I just wanted to stop for a second. So Blooms was birthed because years ago, I was doing group coaching monthly over and over and over. And I think it was fall 2020. I decided to separate and do buds and blooms. So buds is where you begin with me as a group client and solidify your knowledge of the Trim Healthy plan. And then I challenge you to do the hard things and help you make it to be sustainable. And then you have the opportunity to come into blooms once you complete buds. So it's buds like a flower is a bud, the beginning is the bud, and then you bloom because you're growing. Okay. Now, blooms is my heart. Those women have my heart. I love my buds. I love my one-on-ones, but a lot of these blooms have been with me for a very long time, and there is room at the table for more. There is room. God has given me, I'm not bragging, it's him. God has given me such a gift to be able to do what I do. And there's room. There is. And I think the Marco Polo Sharecast has opened that up even more for me to minister to these ladies, love on these ladies, hold these ladies accountable. And so, I've had past blooms that have left come back and say, well, we just really want a smaller group opportunity, and we just want to see the live Q&A, and we want to see the live in the kitchen. And I was like, well, I I can't do the live Q&A live in the kitchen any cheaper than what I charge for blooms. Like, just come into blooms and just watch the live in the kitchen and live Q&A. If that's all you want, just use that. And
Mm.
I mean, it's $45 a month full price. If you come into, you're going to have to correct me on this. When you come into blooms out of buds, what is it?
34.
34? 34.
Yeah.
So $11 off. And then if you do one-on-one and you go into blooms, it's only $19.50 a month because Amy's lazy and doesn't want to change the link. Just to be honest. Um, so it's such an amazing way to grow yourself and to immerse yourself in a community that loves you, supports you, has the same goals, and is following a food plan and mindset that's being taught by the same person. It's just a great unity connection type thing. And I'm constantly leveling up there to make things even better. I see cracks and I fill them in. I see where things need to be changed, and I'm not scared to change that. It doesn't scare me at all. And so, like, my job, my passion is to you know, when Moses was getting tired, holding his hands up for the war, and Aaron and her came over, like, I want to hold their hands up. Like, that is my job for these women. And I feel like the way that we have designed Blooms, because you do help a lot, um, has given that to so many. Are there some that are in Blooms that are just like, I'm a Bloom, but I don't have time right now? Yeah. Are there some that are like, I keep paying her, but I can't, I'm not getting it, like I'm not accessing it? Yes, there are those people, but there's nothing stopping you from accessing it. Not a thing, but yourself. And so if you are one of those Blooms, I just double dog dare you to get back in. The small group stuff, I think, did you say that already
Yeah.
about group?
Well, we
So
haven't, no, but that was one of the things on here for sure.
go
People are
ahead.
looking for more of a small group
Yeah. Yeah.
setting.
Yeah. And that's what we do. We have encouraged in the past, we've encouraged Blooms buddies, which is still a thing. And
Mhm.
so we have that, and a lot of them have met organically either in the accountability post because they realized they were neighbors, or they realized they all are homeschooled with 10 kids or something, something that ties them together.
Yeah.
And then we were seeing there were some that were more introverted, and it was harder for them to assimilate into a group or want to start their own. And so we have signups for breakthrough groups, and I have some of my a lot of ladies that I've worked with closely, or I've seen them as a leader. They are leaders in those breakthrough groups, and is more of a common goal kind of season of life. We do have a melting pot one. I think you're the leader of one of
Yeah.
those. So
Yeah.
it's people that are like, I don't care that I'm in menopause. I want to be with people that have kids at home. Like, I don't give a care. I just want women to be live life with. And so that is free. That is free in Blooms. And I can see all of that. I chime in all the time. I'm like, oh, well, blah, 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 this is what you need. Like, one asked for a fresh, cold veggie recipe. And I'm like, oh, Freshie Bowl, THT, perfect. You know, or recommended different things. And they all, some, not all of them, many of them have their own Marco Polo group, which is just Marco Polo. If you don't have that, you need to get it because it is so life giving. I love that. You can listen at your convenience. You can share back if you want, whatever. But it's so, so good. And that Marco Polo that I have for Blooms is also free inside of Blooms. It is not extra. And you can talk back to me and ask questions there if you want to inside of Blooms.
And that's the great part about those breakthrough groups too, is that you do like, and if somebody asks something, that's what you have the leaders in place for. That
Right.
we're like, oh, okay, that's a little bit out of my wheelhouse. And
And they
that's
can
definitely a
tag me.
coaching question.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're like, and then you just jump right in.
A lot
And
of it's
so,
more Atta girls. It's Atta girls. It's you can do it.
yep.
Encouraging them to keep on going, encouraging them to participate in the challenges. But we leveled up this past month with Blooms and the small group idea. And sweet Debbie Burke, shout out to Debbie Burke. She was like, will you
Mhm.
please? And so she pitched this idea. Wes was listening, and he was like, yes, you need to do that. And so what we did is we opened up my one-on-one to small groups from Blooms. So we had a leader that gathered up some posse to be in the small group. We did
Mhm.
3, 4, or 5 ladies. And that was an extra cost. So they split the cost of what a 30-minute session would be with me as one person. And it has been so life-giving. It really has. It has been amazing.
And that they're getting even more one-on-one attention, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And they are onboarded to my one-on-one app. It's a different app than Mighty Networks. They can message me. They have a community in there that they can talk to each other. I don't think many of them are using that because they have formed a Marco Polo between themselves or a chat somewhere. And they are encouraging each other. You know, if you promised Amy that you're going to do this exercise, we're going to hold you accountable too, you know.
yeah, that's sweet. I love that. And this was the first time rolling it out, and I'm so glad it's turning out well,
Yeah,
like this
it is.
session.
It
Yeah.
is. A lot of them are like, "Can we do this again? Are we doing this next month? Are we doing this?" I'm like, "Yes, we'll do it. We'll do it."
And that's just the great part is getting the feedback because you don't know when you step out there, but that's what's so great. And I just, when we do these kind of things, like they are taking, I just want people to understand when they take the time to do this, like we want to know, like we want to hear what you have to say so that we can see what we can do if there's something we can do to help fit the needs of the many, the multitude, you know?
Yes, yes.
So
And I had four. I had room for four. I got four within a day. So I would say it was definitely something that was needed.
yeah. And that was just like you said, people had gotten together on their
Yeah.
own. It wasn't like a separate collection of
No, I
people.
wasn't going to micromanage that because I don't want to force a group. And also, like, I really wanted them to all to have a common goal. There's a couple that they do have a common goal, and there's one that they all have a lot of really different ones. That one's a little more tough for me, but I've managed this session to support all of them as best as I can.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Um, so on the you had said something too about the part. Uh-oh, am I frozen?
You are, but I can hear you.
Okay. Hold on, let's see.
There you are.
There,
Hi.
there we go. I don't know why it does. I know. It's like, oh great, that's super. Okay, sorry about that. Um, is the when you were talking about the the personalized part of it,
Yeah.
oh no, the part where people don't always access it. And we've
Yeah.
talked about this a bunch too, that that season, right? So if you're super busy, the amount of information that's in Blooms, if you come back in because all of a sudden you have a need, most likely that need has been covered in there. And so if
Yeah,
you're,
I
I
haven't
would
had
just
to
say,
write anything new in a long time.
no, we have, there's so much in there. It's like, what do you talk about?
What
Because you've
else could there
gotten,
be?
I know. And so I think that that would help encourage me, hopefully people that are listening, if it's something you haven't checked back in on, but say if you're going through something, I would say maybe check back and just be able to search, that content library because it's got so much stuff in there,
Yeah.
you know. And then those weekly sessions too, that they can literally just ask you.
Well, and when you come into Blooms as well, you have access to every single live Q&A I've done in 2.5 years.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Is it all the live in the kitchens or is it just the one since we moved to the program? I think it's all of them. It's just
It's
not all
all of
the
them.
menus. It's just not all the
Yeah.
menus.
The menu's right. Because the all of the playlists were in YouTube, so that was so easy just to put them all in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot.
Because I
People.
know y'all have so
People.
many hours a day to watch me constantly. There are people that do it though. They go on a Coach Amy binge. I'm like, how do y'all still like me? Good gravy.
I think it's so fun to see some of the ladies. I really do. Like when I've gone back and had
Oh, their
like watched an old
progress.
one. Oh
Oh,
my
yes.
Lord, there's
So
been a
good.
couple people where I'm like,
So
do
good.
you even know? Do you need to go back and watch this one where you
Yes.
spoke? Because it's oh my goodness.
So
It's
good.
so encouraging, I think. Oh my goodness. Um, I'm trying to think. So most of these things I felt like were more on the support, personalization, and long term. Like
And
it
if I'm
seemed like
remembering right, budgets. There was a lot of things about budget.
there were most of them were budget friendly. They want something that fits their
Yeah.
budget,
I mean, I can't do
which
blooms for $5 a person. I'm sorry. I can't.
right,
I'm sorry.
right.
But
And that's where I think to some of these other ones that you have, the monthly things that you do, like right now with the Bible study. I mean, that's not specific to THM, but like these things, guardrails, those kind of things,
yeah.
because they're smaller chunks of things.
Yeah.
And then you have plenty, oh my goodness, so many classes too that you've done, and everybody has access to
And
those. And those are
those are
topics,
$5, right? Okay.
yeah, and they're all topic specific. There's courses too that are more content, but
They're
again, they're
29,
specific.
right?
Yeah. Yep. So if it's
I
specific, if you're
forget. I don't
looking
do numbers. Darlene is the numbers in the pair over here.
for specific, and that's what I love about it, because it's like if you really just need something right now, there's stuff that are there for those needs. So, um, but some of them said there was actually kind of a few that did say premium services, that are willing to because it's important. I not that it's not important if you don't have the budget. That's not what I mean, definitely. But it's that can have a bigger range that they can
Oh
do,
my gosh.
you
In
know,
blooms, if you speak up, you'll have premium support.
100%.
Saying, I'm
That's
not
what
trying to
we
be
talked about.
snarky, not trying to be
No,
snarky, but if you show up and ask and turn in your tracking sheet, I mean, I don't know how much more premium I can get. you
no,
know,
and that's like because you're checking almost everything about what they're eating.
right?
It's pretty wild, and I think that's what's what's interesting, and I know like I kind of said that at the last Blooms Buds together, was
Yeah.
this is the gold. Like you open the floor to anyone, even if it's specific and they want to tell you what they do at 5 a.m. and noon and
Oh
whatever
yeah.
and hash it
Got
out.
a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're really thankful that everyone who did this and put these out there. So it gives us an idea if we're missing something or holes that need to be filled in. Um, and like you said, Debbie Burke being able to come up, if there's something that needs,
Yeah.
to be able, because we don't know until we know.
Yeah.
No,
And
we
so
don't
that's
know.
why we did the survey. I just, if I'm not meeting a need, so my whole goal as a coach is to solve your problem. And if what I'm solving is not the majority of my people's problem, I'm not going to have a successful business. And so I needed to ask. And after looking at the survey results, I felt like I was doing the right thing. But Darlene was like, but apparently they don't know. So we need to tell them. And I'm like, okay, well, let's talk about it.
Yeah. And it's the words are out there, but I think this will just help. I mean, if you need the accountability and posting your food and there's lots of people that are and the ideas. I think that was really big too, was that the ideas, you get so many ideas just from other people.
Yep.
Because so many, like you've talked to, there's a lot of people who just don't have real life people like doing
Yes.
this.
Yes.
And I think that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And I think
You
that
know,
came out of your conference too, like
right.
knowing
I was
that
going to say
this
that.
isn't, yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
The conference, I do open it up first to Blooms, like they get priority. But then I do open it up to the public, if you will, as long as you are a adult female. That is what we're looking for. But this year we had one that was not in Blooms, but she had done Buds before. And last year we had one that was a follower. She had not done any coaching with me before, but the rest of them were all Blooms or had been, in the past. So that's really interesting. And also inside of Blooms, I'm offering, would we say regional retreats?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's, yeah.
yeah. And so the first one, it's only available to people that are in Blooms. And so I want 10 for this one. Right now I have 8. I would really love to get 10, but if I don't, that's just a risk that I had to take. I'm not really willing to open that up just because the whole point of these retreats is for me to get to know my Blooms better and love on them more and support them more and just spend that special one-on-one time with them. Um, and I'm really, really excited. So yeah, registration was us recording this is a Friday afternoon. We opened up yesterday morning and had 8 just boom. So the other 2 are out there. I know they are. This is your sign. Click the link. But it's going to be
That's
so fun. And JJ's coming with me. JJ will be with us.
so fun.
I know it's
Yeah.
going to be great. So anyway, very excited about that.
I think this is good too because I think when we talk about certain things out there that people understand that um, usually like I feel like we're pretty good about it, but the idea is that this retreat it's for Blooms, right? Like these are things this Blooms membership has like you said these women are really important to you,
They are
and
very.
so and it's not it doesn't if you come in and you're brand new fresh that's okay, like
Yep.
you're still really important.
Yep. For sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
so I think that's really exciting.
Yeah. And I
Well,
will
I
say
think
like the Marco Polo has opened up the door for me to um take on a little more because the group is large. But the Marco Polo allows me to during the week answer those questions and or speak to those topics. We just had one about incentivizing yourself. And so we're carrying that conversation to the live Q&A real quick, for Sunday night. And I just think it's amazing.
yeah. No, and it's perfect. And I think that people that are in there that don't like it, you can even do it anonymously. Like you can put that it's anonymously
Right?
rose again.
Absolutely. Yes. I like those anonymous questions because that's what people are really needing, especially because we talk about intimacy in marriage. We talk about very personal things in Blooms. And sometimes you don't want to ask, even maybe self-conscious, maybe they have over 100 to 200 pounds to lose. That can be a difficult thing to say out loud in front of people. And they can turn in things anonymously on a quick little form that's available to everybody inside of Blooms. And they don't have to put their name. It's not a big deal. But it is their responsibility to listen to the live to get the answer.
Yeah, and know that it's coming. Like
It's
if it
coming.
wasn't something, especially if it was something anonymous or something of more depth, that it's going to be during that live Q&A.
Yeah.
And you even said that on the Marcos though sometimes. Yeah, I have a few questions that are a little bit lengthier, and so we'll talk about them on Sunday
Yeah.
night.
Well, and those I would like for them to be recorded too, so that that can be replayed easily.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then we all learn. We all get to learn something new.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing time.
I
So
love
please
it.
come if you're
Love it.
eligible, please. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. To be eligible for blooms, are we doing this?
Are we ready?
Are we ready?
Are
To be
we ready?
eligible for blooms, you can do one-on-one and you can be a bloom, or you do buds. Buds is what was that one lady? She thought that it was like a military boot camp. There's one called Buds, and you know about that?
That was a while ago, but if
I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Buds is a flower.
no,
Buds is the
right?
beginning. I think I'm like a drill sergeant. I mean, I can be. If I need to put that hat on, I sure will. But I'm a little more gentle in Buds. But we after this survey and after praying loads and loads, I've decided to level up and update Buds. So this is I might tear up, like I'm so excited.
I know,
We
so am I.
we are repurposing Buds. This will be our first session will be fall of this year. Buds 2.0 Back to Basics Challenge with Coach Amy. And if y'all will allow me, I'm just going to read the words because I don't want to miss anything, but I'm going to be very dramatic. Are y'all ready? This is your chance to truly understand and implement the fundamentals of the Trim Healthy lifestyle with 2 dedicated weeks of learning, followed by 2 weeks of live action-oriented group sessions. That will start on September 22nd, 2024 and go for 2 weeks. There is an early bird special for 48 hours. Starting September 9th, you can snag the challenge for $89. That is a $40 discount off the regular price of $129. So that's only for 2 days, okay? September 9th, all day, the 10th, all day, and then the 11th, it will be full price. So get it together. But wait, there's more. You can get an extra $5 off if you join the wait list. So the wait list means you're waiting on registration to open. So if you join the wait list, you'll get $45 off. Okay. So it'd be $84 that you would pay for Buds 2.0. Okay. So does that make sense?
Oh my goodness, it does. I'm so
Okay.
excited.
Okay.
Like I hope people heard that. $45 off.
$45 off because I am so excited about this. I want it to be affordable for people. But you also, if you're on the wait list, you also get a free download. And I still haven't pinpointed what that is, but I hope by airtime I'll have my act together. Okay, so you heard me say 2 weeks of learning. So if you come in on the first day of registration, that's September 9th, and get your $45 off, which if you don't sign up for the wait list, you're crazy town, okay? So you get $45 off. You register on September 9th with that discount. You will get immediate access to my 6-step Buds education content. Okay. Everything. You will have it all right there. And it's designed to help you understand Trim Healthy. It is videos, lists, words. It is what I have used to teach Trim Healthy for years, right from the plan book. I refer to the plan book. You can look at the plan book, listen to me say, because so many people need that visual learning style, and they can cross-reference it with the plan book. And so that's the learning. You will also have immediate access to my Trim Healthy guide, which will include 4 menus that have live in the kitchen demos attached to them. I'm freshening all of that up from videos from this year. You'll also have access to my weekly grocery list, the things that I always have on hand, which is super, super helpful for people that are beginners or new to Trim Healthy. And so once that 2 week of learning is up, that's when we start the 2 weeks of live coaching on September 22nd. And that is access to me. During that time, there will be 3 live Q&As. You'll have one on the 22nd. Oopsie daisy, I want to get all these right. On September 22nd, September 29th, and October 6th. So 3 live Q&As. That's your time to shine and ask me questions. That's time for me to help you resolve all the nagging questions that were not answered in the education, because I bet $1 million, 90% of your questions will be answered in the education. And so there may be some more personal things. Maybe you have Hashimoto's and you just need someone in to kind of help you work through that. Maybe you have an exercise question, or what time do I need to fuel question, or I don't know. It can be anything.
Yeah. And just
Whatever.
clarification. Sometimes
If you
they've
just
read
need
it like,
clarification, like, okay, tell me really just one more time, how do I build an E? Tell me again. I just need to hear you say it. Okay, la 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 la, you know. I'm also spicing things up with 2 engaging challenges. So in my previous Buds programs, we had eat the veg, ditch the scale, drink the water, 100% on plan, tracking. I think there was one more. But anyway, those are all going to be included in what we're going to be doing daily. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. But the exercise challenge will help you kickstart your physical health, whether you are going from sedentary, I can help you with that, or you are an avid exerciser and maybe you want to level up in some way. I can help you work through that. You'll be getting bonus content of some of my exercise videos and helps as well. And we do prizes each week. So you could be in the running for a fun prize, which are always really cool. And it's going to look a little something like this.
this.
Okay. And then the second challenge is the mindset challenge, because I'm seeing a crack that I had in my buds, Darlene, was the mindset. I didn't have anything specific to that. And I really need women to change their outlook about food and their bodies. And so we're going to be talking about truth statements. That's something that I'm pulling out of my Crushing Your Goals challenge. And that will help us explore the dynamics of motivation versus discipline, because you're not always going to be motivated. You're not.
Seriously. No.
And that's where your discipline is going to come and support you, holding your arms up, Aaron and her. Okay. You'll also have daily fueling review from me, Coach Amy. That is going to be gold. Every day for 2 weeks, 14 days of a 7.5-year Trim Healthy vet, looking at everything you're doing. Now, some of you may not want me to, and that's fine. But you will have instructions on how to access that review, and we will teach you how to use a food journaling app. It's not required, but it is a great service that I think you should totally engage in during Buds 2.0. Like I said, 3 live Q&As. And then also you'll have 2, in addition to those 4 menus with the 4 cooking demos that are already in the Trim Healthy Guide from day 1, you will have 2 additional menus with 2 lives that will be happening in real time on Tuesdays. What days? September 24th and October 1st at 10 a.m. Central. So that's what will be happening there. And I have a lot of fun in the kitchen.
The kitchens are great.
I love bringing y'all in. You also have lifetime access to everything that I just listed. It will never go away. I wouldn't even want to think about taking that away from you guys, because it's such an amazing resource. And then once it's over,
and then
you get to unlock the next level of your health journey. You want the Price is Right in a minute. That's what that sounded like.
What's behind door number 2?
1 is access to blooms. So once Buds 2.0 closes on October 6th, those ladies, you all will have access to the special discount, which is that $34 we talked about, with 1 week for free. So if you hate it, that week free, just don't do it. Like, it's okay. But there is a 2-week registration window. And so you have 2 weeks from the 6th until 2 weeks after that, whatever date that is, to decide if you want to do the 1 week free and then start your monthly membership at $34. And that's a lifetime fee. As long as you don't cancel, you keep that. And we've already talked about what's in Blooms, but I can't express to you enough how important that Blooms Marco Polo Sharecast is, and the opportunity to do small groups. The breakthrough group, that's free. The small groups where you gather a few women and fill out a form and let me know that y'all want to do that. It's just great. And we do challenges in there as well for prizes. So
every week.
Can y'all tell I'm a little excited?
This is super exciting.
So
and it is, because this is what, again, we're trying to hear what people are saying and what they want, and this is going to be the most exciting. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Okay, I know what I'm gonna say.
The most exciting part of it is that you get everything still.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the pricing. Because like, you know how we talked
And
numbers a
it's
second ago?
shorter term. Yeah.
Like this is so big to me. This fits that budget friendly because you're getting everything that you would have gotten in 5 weeks, 6 weeks, because we did,
Yes.
but like all of it, you get all of it.
Yeah.
And
I,
it's
I have
condensed.
not taken away anything. I've
Nope.
just shortened the live session because I see so many women that get a little overwhelmed with having to do it over and over and feel like, and so we've got the 2 weeks of self-paced learning. You want to knock it out in one day, be my guest. If you want to do a little bit every evening, 20 minutes, that would be fine. You could totally do that. And then you come into that 2 weeks of that more let's really dial in and engage on Sunday night and Tuesday and do those nightly accountabilities. And truly, that's all that you would be doing. And then, just keeping, maybe you level up your exercise a little bit, and then we're going to do those true statements the next week. And then you go right on into blooms and you just fall back into that cadence of, I watch her on Sunday night. I get my menu on Tuesday morning, and by Wednesday night, I promise myself I'm gonna watch her live in the kitchen. And then every night, I'm gonna put my accountability picture. I'm gonna click yes, I was on plan, or I'm gonna be honest and say no if I didn't, and bring that level of integrity to your Trim Healthy journey. I just really think it will set you up for success. And for $34 a month, you can have access to me, and I will be there for you. Like I am there. I'm there. I'm there and ready. Because God has given me such a passion for this, and He's what keeps me energized to do it. I mean, yeah, there are some days where I'm like, oh, because my life does happen. I have 5 children, a husband, my parents, I have friends, but I'm a great time blocker, and I've got y'all on my schedule, and so that's how I do it.
And the 2 weeks too, like you said, I know I'm just repeating, but that 2 weeks of meal tracking is going to be so big and
Cool.
so helpful because there is so much information out there in Trim Healthy that is sideways a little bit, or like, people think, or they're asking questions like, is this on plan? There's so many inputs
Products.
of what, yeah, like of what's
Right.
on plan. And
Right.
so this is the perfect time to be like, I think this is, and you have it in there, and then Coach Amy will be able to say, actually, and she'll tell you why, like
Yeah.
why this doesn't fit
Or it
into the
could be
guideline.
permissible, but I don't think it would be beneficial. So let's find something else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's in there too, just changing what you
Mhm.
can change to, giving you ideas
Changing
and stuff like
staples.
that.
That's one of my
Yeah,
favorite ones.
because they do. We all have certain things that we love. And
Yeah.
so and to keep us on track, we need to figure out what we can do to satisfy that if it's something in our everyday life that we eat a lot. So this is super exciting. Like I can't tell you guys how exciting this is. Like if you couldn't tell, we're really excited about it. So a lot of information is going to be coming out, but definitely if you are in Blooms and your people, you have people that want to be with you in Blooms and they haven't done coaching with Coach Amy, like this is
It.
the way to get, this
And
is
we're
it.
telling them 4 or 5 weeks ahead of time, start saving your nickels, quit going to Starbucks and save your $5, and you'll
Yeah.
have it before you know it. I mean, it's worth it. And like I said,
Yep.
lifetime access, like you can't, I just don't think you can beat it. I mean, like it's my life goal to help women be where I am. Like I want to get your mindset, not necessarily my size, but your mindset where I am. And that right there is what's going to build the discipline in your life to keep doing this thing over and over and over again.
Yep, it sure is.
Yep.
It really will. And this in the way you simplify things and it's not doesn't have to be
Yeah,
overwhelming.
man.
It doesn't.
Girl, let me tell you, the other day, one of those small groups, we have a sister that's going out of town, and she made a couple of things, and she goes, and I need to find time to make some muffins. I said, excuse me, friend, does your Walmart sell Ezekiel cinnamon raisin English muffins? She said, yeah. And I said, go buy those. You don't have to make muffins. She went, oh my gosh, I forgot. That's the
Perfect.
simplicity of Trim Healthy
That
right
is,
there.
it is. And that
Yeah.
I think is such a huge
There is
part of your
beauty in
coaching.
making muffins. They're delicious. I love Coach Jessica's soaked blueberries. Those are my favorites. But
Me too.
sometimes we don't have time. So you can have an Ezekiel and call it good.
Yep.
Good.
And these new travels, the ones that you're doing, because you're busy. Like you embody like a lot of what women are doing right now. They're
Yeah.
working and they have people that have things and you're going and you guys
Yeah.
vacation or you go somewhere, and so
Whew.
it fits. You have all the ideas for people that are busy and you
Yes.
still make it work. So
Yes.
this is very cool, you guys. It's going to be 2
Very
weeks
cool.
long.
And I will
And
say,
you're gonna,
I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. But if I'm your cup of tea, come on. Come on.
yeah. And this is an affordable way, I think, to find out. Like if you're on the fence and you followed Coach Amy for a while, or you know somebody who's in her coaching and you're just not sure, man, this I think is an amazing opportunity.
And don't let
Amazing.
fear get in your way. I have a lot of people,
Mhm.
I'm finally in. I've just been so scared to do it. I don't
Mhm.
really understand what they're scared of. Are you scared that it's going to work and you're going to have to do it? Well, isn't that your goal? If it works, you got to do it. I know that sounds hard. I mean, I used to, but years ago, oh, I have to eat on plan again. I understand. I was there. But now I've changed that script. I get to eat on plan. I get to eat healthy food. I get to feel good. I get to go work out with my husband and be on a glute machine and he say I have to get off because my glutes already look awesome. You know what I mean? Like I can chase my
Yeah.
little boys. I can pick up my dad if I need to. Have the energy to do what I need to do. And that right there is the best thing in the world. Is the best. And I want y'all to have that.
And she does. She's not saying that, just saying it. She does.
I do.
And anyone who knows Coach Amy knows that. Like she wants the best for all of us
I do.
so badly.
Yes.
What is it? We always joke. If you
More
could
than
just put
some
it
of
in like
y'all.
a, yeah, like in a little zippy, here you go. I just wanted to say,
To
just
go.
have it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's what fuels me to keep showing up because I do want it so much for you guys. And I'm not going to stop.
Yeah. Nope. This is it's so good. I think you said tracking too. That's going to be still in there.
Oh,
Like she
yeah.
said, everything in buds. And so your tracking, she's going to teach you her tracking tool. It's
I
all
do.
still in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you might have said it. I'm not sure.
I don't think I did, to be honest. So thank you for saying that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Makes a big
And
difference.
you'll have a link to click if you want to read the words instead of just
Yeah.
listening to me be silly and read it. But goodness gracious, it's so exciting.
It
Whew.
is. I'm so excited. And it's fall, so it's coming. It's coming.
I see fall in August as such a rebirth. I know people love January and they love spring, but to me, fall is so refreshing just in my heart. It's my birth month. It was when school started, which was always so fun and fresh and exciting. And you
Mhm.
couldn't wait to find out what your school year would look like. And so now I kind of see that. And also happening fall for Southern and Healthy Coaching is 100 Strong. And that will launch the day 2 of Blooms is when 100 Strong will start. And
Big of buds for this
really,
new buds one.
is that what I said?
You said blooms,
I'm sorry.
but it
Buds 2.0.
yeah,
Day 2
yep,
of Buds 2.0 will start on 100 Strong day 1. And that right there is going to be such an amazing time.
yeah.
And this year, I'm not going to stress on plan if that's not what you want to do. I highly recommend that you're on plan for 100 days, but a lot of my people already are on plan. And so I'm going to allow them to choose what their goal is going to be, what their challenge is for 100 Strong. Mine will be on plan because I will go through Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. And I need to be on plan because going off plan does not benefit me at all. And so that's what Amy needs in her life. And so you do you, boo.
This right, and this sets you up for that. Like you said, and
Yeah.
literally you'll be starting buds. You'll already have the information beforehand just to look at. And
Yep.
then this is getting you those first 2 weeks starting 100 strong.
Yep.
You've got accountability and you're gonna have all the things right
Yep.
there. So
That's
I
right.
think forgot about that part. Oh my
Right.
goodness. About that.
And there'll be more information coming out about 100 Strong. Not today. Today we're going to focus on Buds 2.0 and Blooms. And I also still do one-on-one coaching, but it is very limited.
Yeah.
Because I only have so many hours in my life. I used
Because
to
that
have
new
a
session,
very high volume of one-on-ones, and I learned really fast that wasn't helping anybody. So, yes,
and then that session starts too September,
September
right?
1st. Mm-hmm.
August. Yeah.
Yep, September 1st. Yeah. And so if you're interested in that, all you have to do is go to my one-on-one webpage and you can apply to be a one-on-one client. It does not lock you into anything except for a free discovery call with me. And then you can decide what you'd like to do from there.
And we'll make sure those links are in there so people can check it out.
Thanks, Darlene.
Yeet. So exciting.
Anything else?
It's so funny how it's so funny. It's like we're so giddy about it. It's like we're just, I'm just praying the same ears. The ears are hearing it and they're just as excited for it
Yes.
because it's a
Don't
big
let us
deal.
annoy you. Don't let us
I
annoy
know.
you. Be excited with us.
Oh my goodness. I think you covered all of it. You did awesome. That's great.
Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah.
Those first couple
So
questions I didn't know you were going to ask, and I'm like, what?
you gotta pop some, but see, it's that on that fly thing. That's kind of what we were just talking about in Blooms. Like you, even if you are in the back and you just like to watch and observe and learn that way, but then you have a question, it can be from left field.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna pay attention to you and she's gonna listen to you and she's gonna try to help you solve whatever you got going on.
Yep.
So don't be shy.
No, it is amazing how God has allowed me to remember things. I have one client that just went to close out some things from her father's estate from him passing away. And so she sent me a little message that just let me know that she did what I told her to do. And she goes, and by the way, this is what I was doing. I'm like, girl, what she was doing? I remember. And it is like, Wes and I will talk about, I'm not trying to brag. I'm just bragging on the Lord because he's the one who helps me sift through all this and remember it. And he was rambling off something about hunting in Missouri. And I was like, oh, well, la, 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 la. I'll live in Missouri. And he's like, how do you do that? I'm like, it's God. It's God. And he's been so kind to me to do this. And he, sweet Cassie Seahigh, sent me these cards a long time ago. And it's scriptures that have my name inside of them. And I've kept this one on my desk for probably 2 weeks because I have struggled a little bit, not gonna lie. But you are more than a conqueror, Amy, through him who loved you, Romans 8:37. Because the lie that I hear the most is that I am unloved, that no one loves you. And there's probably a lot of y'all going, shut that down. You are so loved. I love you. My kids love you. My dog loves you. That's a lie that I've listened to most of my life. And I just really hold on to that. And I want to tell all of you too, that if you're kind of getting upset because you just can't do $84, you can still follow me on Facebook for free. You can still follow me on YouTube for free. And I do my best to share fun things and tips there too. So there's a place for everybody.
There is. It's precious. Love it.
Thanks.
And we're still going to be excited. Yeah, I think so.
And we're excited that you're following me because I just made 12,200 followers on Facebook, Darlene.
Did you?
Yeah.
I can never see that number. Yeah. Yay. That's so exciting.
That's me dancing. I suck at that. Sorry. Sorry, YouTubes. I'm a sit still and clap her hands, girl.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Nod. Just kind of nod.
Yeah. Try to sing all the words.
Oh my goodness.
You want to tell them bye?
Yes, it was good talking to you guys today. Bye everybody.
Bye.